Hi there. Welcome to the very last vlog of 2025. Can you believe this year is already coming to an end? Well, I can't, but at the same time, I'm also ready for 2025 to be over. Today is Monday, December 22nd, which means we are only 3 days away from Christmas. So by the time you see this, it'll be after the holidays, it'll be after Christmas. So I'm actually gonna catch a flight back home first thing tomorrow morning. And with less than 24 hours before my flight, that means I have so much to get done still. So this vlog is gonna be a little bit chaotic, a lot of yapping probably, but I hope you all enjoy it and are here for the ride as well. So first thing this morning, I need to actually submit my very last project of this year. And this is actually my first time working with this particular client. So I'm like a little bit more nervous than usual to hit send on sending them the gallery of their images for their product. But you know what? It's like now or never, right? I have the whole email already drafted, and all I have to do is just click send, and you're gonna be with me as I do that for emotional support. Yeah, I don't know why I always get so kind of like nervous when waiting to hear their response back. That's like the hard part, I think. It's like the waiting part. I'm like, do they either hate me or are they gonna like love the images and want to work with me again? I feel like it always has to be somewhere on the spectrum of like those two extremes for whatever reason. And I know that's not necessarily very logical, but that's just kind of like how my anxious mind works as a freelancer. I just feel like I need to hold on to every client and I need to like please everybody. Otherwise, I'm just not going to have a job. And again, like I know it's not, situations in life are never that extreme, but that's kind of where my mind goes in moments like this. I am not carrying this massive suitcase just for a week-long vacation. Because I live in such a small space, I did the tiny apartment thing and squeezed one suitcase within another. So I gotta extract the carry-on suitcase from inside here. That's the one I'm actually gonna use for this trip. I bet you there's already more stuff inside here too, because I'm pretty sure I've been using this one as storage as well. Honestly, even getting these suitcases ready for the packing process is an ordeal in itself. If you live in a small apartment and you also do this with your suitcases, let me know in the comments below. Honestly, this whole process has reminded me a little bit of those like Russian nesting dolls, except for I can't remember what I put in here. So we're about to find out together. So I'm realizing that I don't really like packing or even unpacking for that matter. It's now like a little bit past 1 p.m. I think the last time I checked in with you guys, it was still 9 a.m. And in that time, I've gotten a little bit of work done. I've run some errands. I've spent some time catching up on YouTube, but I have not started packing at all. And I believe my flight is now in about 18 hours. So yeah, it's definitely not something I can put off anymore. So let's get going. And I've made this super long, very detailed packing list to go from because I really do not want to miss anything. So I've got a bunch of devices that are just charging right now, including my e-reader and my portable charger. And then all my camera equipment for the DJI Osmo Pocket is in here as well. Hi, once again coming to you from the floor of my apartment. So over the last couple of months, I've been slowly collecting all of these organizer storage baskets, and I've been meaning to put them to good use, but I haven't yet. And so my plan for these storage baskets is maybe I'll show you and then it'll make more sense. I have been treating my kitchen, my under sink kitchen cabinet, essentially as a junk drawer. I mean, everything in there is very useful. I use it very often, sometimes daily, which is why it's really inconvenient when it looks like this. So as you can see, I've just kind of thrown everything inside. As soon as I need something, I'm kind of just like digging around trying to find it. When I'm done using it, I just like throw it, shove it in whatever, wherever, however it can possibly fit in this space. And that's not good because I've had things constantly falling on my feet. It wastes like time for me to try to find the things that I need. And so I'm gonna try to fix that today. I know these storage baskets are maybe a little bit small for the items in here, but let's just see what we can do. Wow, I can't believe it. That literally took like no time at all. I don't know why I put it off for so long. That literally took only like 5 minutes, maybe even less. So I kind of put similar items grouped together, or really in just whatever way they could fit in these containers, and it all somehow worked out. The only one that I wasn't really able to fit in because it was too big was this cleaning solution, but that's okay. Back in there it goes. So it's now 3:48 p.m. As you can probably tell because it's getting so much darker outside. I'm low-key kind of killing time because I am waiting for 2 important deliveries. And so I thought in the meantime, I was kind of like killing time, looking at some of my just like old computer files, seeing if there's anything I could clean up. And I came across 2 things that I made last year, or not last year, but rather in January, in the beginning of this year. And now that it's December, I feel like I'm doing a lot of reflecting in my mind, thinking how much this year has changed, especially from where I thought I would be. So one of the things I came across was my vision board that I made for 2025. If you've been following me for a while, I do have a vlog from January of this year where I kind of go a little bit more into detail. And I just, after I made that vlog, after I made that vision board, I completely just like ignored it. And I know a lot of people print out their vision boards and just like look at it every day. So it's like a visual reminder of their goals and it's part of like that manifestation process or whatever. I'm kind of just making it for fun or just for the sake of content, I guess, if I'm being honest. But there are, I think it's important to have goals. I don't think you necessarily always have to make all of them in January and put that much pressure on yourself to achieve them by the end of the year. But as I was looking at that particular vision board that I made for 2025 back in January, it's kind of scary how much a lot of it has kind of come to life. And I don't think it's because I put the photos on the vision board and that's why it came true. I think it's just like a lot of it was, I could kind of feel like the gears were shifting into making these things happen, particularly for this year. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're gonna do like a really lo-fi version of this because I'm too lazy to screen record. But basically, I just like threw one together using a template on Canva. I have a lot of photos of me kind of like moving in a way, like in a new place that's very different from LA where I was. Like you see the photos with like the passport, keys to a new apartment, new me, new city, that kind of vibe. And it's kind of interesting because even as of 11 months ago, I really thought my big move this year was going to be to Berlin, Germany. And obviously that didn't happen because I'm obviously in Seattle. I don't regret coming to Seattle instead of Berlin. I actually really love this decision. I do really truly think I made the right one. But it's just really interesting that even though I didn't end up in Berlin or Europe, that I did still make the big move this year, which is probably the thing I'm like most excited and most happy about in terms of the things that happened in 2025. And then the other big one that kind of like really freaked me out was like, I actually photoshopped this. This is like kind of the channel overview on YouTube and how you view your subscribers. So I believe at the beginning of January, I had about maybe like 1,300, 1,500 subscribers, which is, not a small number by any means, but I really wanted to hit a substantial goal of really increasing my subscriber count and really growing the channel to the point where it could be monetized. Because I feel like at that point, I was like, okay, am I gonna keep going for this channel, or am I just gonna kind of take a break? Because it is a lot of effort and time and energy to make these weekly vlogs. So yeah, I photoshopped the number 5,000 because that was the goal that I wanted to achieve. And I remember doing this. I kept going back and forth between 3,000 and 5,000 because I thought 3,000 was a more realistic goal, and I didn't want to be like disappointed. 3,000 just seemed more realistic, but I'm so glad I put that 5,000. And if you know by now, we are at 5,100 subscribers and counting. So thank you guys. Yeah, so that's the vision board story of 2025. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make a vision board for 2026. I think I'm a little bit over them. This is going to sound weird, but I just don't really have really big goals in 2026 that are new. And I think that sometimes that's okay because life doesn't change so much in a year either. Like sometimes it's good enough just to try to maintain the changes that have happened in the past few months, the past few years. I mean, this move was such a major part of my life and in my plans for 2025. But, it only happened like 4 months ago. So, there's still a lot of adjustments to be made. I'm still getting used to being in a new city, things like that. So maybe I'll take it easy on the goals for 2026. So if you're making a vision board, if you're thinking about your future for 2026, feel free to comment down below what your biggest goal of 2026 would be.
Report to station by correct.